So you're interested in building your own website, or you're interested in hearing my 2-month journey that allowed me to build this website. Now, in my opinion, the website front end needs a lot of work, but the features are all around capable and all that. And with this, I think I can talk about my journey real quick and then get into maybe the tips and that kind of stuff later in the video. One website, 300 hours. I want to talk about what I did in the 300 hours and exactly what each hour is dedicated to. It boils down to this: 50 hours of learning and 250 hours of developing. This was done over the course of 2 months. For this 2 month, for some reason, for the last 2 months, I really loved building this website, so I cut off basically all of my personal time and quit video games for that 2 month. And I was able to get that product out. I'm really proud of it. So I spent that 50 hours in learning. What did I exactly learn? Well, the first 25 hours of learning web development really dedicated to my macro understanding of web development, because I come into this field, I don't know what the heck is going on. I thought that websites are easily built. I just need to use a template, a graphical user interface, and then I can just do some additions on that GUI, and then I can make stuff happen. But that is simply not the case. So that first 25 hours, I understood the macro of web development. So that would be things like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or Python are usually the essentials for web development. Stuff like what are website hosts? What is the best website host? What is the best database that pairs with this specific front-end framework? So those are the stuff that is studied. And then in the next 25 hours, I learned the micro out of the macro. So these will be things like, from the macro parts, I learned that React.js is the best front-end JavaScript framework that every single beginner should use. And for example, that's what I learned. Then in the micro, I'll just look up React.js tutorials. I actually built this website with a MERN setup, so I had to learn MongoDB, Express.js, Node.js, and then React.js. And correspondingly, they are the database, the backend server, and then the front end. There was a few commands of MongoDB and React.js that I really had to learn, and for those, I just looked into the best tutorial online. And then I found this part being really important. I went to implement a few GitHub projects that also uses the MERN setup, and this is really helpful to my growth because there are code that are often repetitious and can be used many times. So for example, how to fetch data from a database in your front-end code. So stuff like that, you can definitely see it in any single open source GitHub MERN setup projects. So then, after studying the micro and the macro at 50 hours, the next 250 hours is simply dedicated to building a website. I will, however, say this though. I could have cut down the time from 300 hours to 200 hours if I did the following. If I actually spent 100 hours studying and then 100 hours building my website. I would like that 50 hours of extra studying be dedicated to implementing more GitHub projects, because after all, to be really honest, the setup of your code is not going to be that much different from any other MERN projects. Most of my development time is dedicated to solving stuff on the setup. So it wouldn't be like specific code. It will be questions such as how do I set up routing in my website? How do I do data fetching? How do I test whether or not a user is authenticated or not? So after you see, so those are the type of problems that I always have, but those are oftentimes already implemented in a lot of people's projects because those are really common features that I just talked about. So really, I think that spending a lot more time studying other people's code will be a huge boost of growth to me, and it's gonna make me a lot more resourceful than what I am right now. But then of course, there is that there's always that part that is unique. So for example, from my website, as you can see right now, the unique thing is that I implemented D3.js, which is a data visualizing library in React.js, and I built this tree map, which took a lot of creativity and a lot of trial and errors
But this is also the thing that I'm most proud of, versus stuff that a lot of people write about that I had to do a lot of research for. So again, implementing a lot more GitHub projects and reading similar websites that's, that has the same setup that you're gonna do is gonna benefit you a lot. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tip Time. These are tips given by a guy who's not even in the industry or doesn't even have a job in the industry, but these are the things that I have cultivated myself over the past 2 months, so I believe that they do have some value. But number one, make sure you dig deep to search for the tool that is most compatible with your project or idea. So what I mean is this: if you're only building a blog, maybe use a WordPress, right? Just use WordPress. If you're building an e-commerce website, that is just simply selling stuff, maybe Shopify can get the job done. The more customizable the website has to be, the more you have to lean towards you actually coding the website. Number two, dig deep when you're searching for the solutions. If you look for a Stack Overflow question and the first one has the first answer has 50 upvotes, but it's like 2 pages long, just read that one because it's probably gonna work. It is gonna work. Number 3, this one is my personal one, but try not to write code when it's 9 p.m. because unless I respect everybody's work schedule, but if you're like me, I'm a student, right? I'm still a student in high school, so I get home like 3 p.m. every day, and I got like maybe 1 hour of 2 hours of homework to do. But if I write code at 9 p.m., that usually means that I procrastinated around 6 p.m. and I didn't write code from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So now I'm writing code from 9 p.m. to 12 p.m. And this is the really bad thing I fell into, which is that I felt good for working and overloading myself, even though it was really just procrastination. So I'll feel like, when I'm working from 9 to 12, I feel like, holy shit, I'm on the grind, I'm a hustler, I'm an entrepreneur. Versus really, I'm just procrastinating. Alright folks, that's it for this video. Please subscribe, it really motivates me. I don't know why, it really does. So, and please also comment down below, what should I do next? And if you're a senior engineer or you're just someone who has a little bit of experience in this field and you saw that I have been saying some things incorrectly, please correct me down below in the comment section. Or if you have also a few tips to share, please also comment down below. And also tell me, what should I do next? I'm really interested in all kinds of technology. I want to get into blockchain, Bitcoin, security. I have been doing a lot of machine learning. And a cool project that I might be doing next is programming those drones to follow me and maybe even shoot me with a rubber band. I'll program them to do so. So yeah, make sure to subscribe, make sure to comment, and thank you a lot for viewing. And hopefully, really hopefully, this helped you on your journey.